It is week 9 for fantasy football players. The Bengals, Browns, Eagles, and Rams have the week off, but not Jake Ciely from The Athletic, the top fantasy expert in the nation. And Jake, injuries continue to affect fantasy teams, and we start with Miami's Myles Gaskin.
Yeah, somebody who a lot of teams have picked up to be a rock-solid piece in their backfield for fantasy teams. And the Dolphins had to love what they were seeing from him this year. But yeah, he's going to miss a few weeks at least. Looks like Matt Breida will be the next man up, and we've seen what he can do when he was on the 49ers in the past. But now he's got limitations in practice so far. So if he's out, next you turn to Jordan Howard, who we've seen before. So on this team, whether it's Breida, whether it's Jordan Howard, you can find options. The Dolphins will have somebody this week. You just got to pay attention to see which one. And either one of them you can plug in and get pretty much close to the same value as Gaskin.
Now, the biggest quarterback question mark is down in Dallas. How will that affect any other Cowboys players that you may have on your fantasy team?
Yeah, this offense has been a mess since Dak Prescott went down. It's hard to start any of the Cowboys players, including like Ezekiel Elliott is starting to look really rough even at running back. But the wide receivers, it's almost a wait-and-see game when you have a quarterback like this stepping in that's never had a game action with these three together. It sounds like, maybe we can trust Amari Cooper a little bit, but I would say Michael Gallup would be more of that Hail Mary play. If you need a lot of upside and don't mind the risk, he's been seeing a lot of targets further downfield than Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, so he might be the Hail Mary play. But if you can avoid all three, just kind of wait it out for 1 week.
Now, there's another quarterback change down in Jacksonville. Who is Jake Lewton?
Yeah, Jake Lewton, coming from Oregon State, played in the Pac-12. He comes from a pro-style offense, so that's somewhat good for him. But the issue you worry about with him and DJ Chark is that he struggles with deep ball placement. You saw a lot of wide receivers when he was playing in college have to adjust to his throws. So maybe this game, the first game out, you look at Keelan Cole, you look at Laviska Shenault for the shorter game and keep things safe, lean on James Robinson in the backfield. So I would say if you can avoid starting DJ Chark this week, hold off, and maybe, like I said, go to Keelan Cole, who's been very productive for the Jaguars this year.
Washington against the Giants. Kyle Allen looked better against Dallas 2 weeks ago. Who's worth starting on your team from that game?
Yeah, you have to start Terry McLaurin. We all know that. Even though it's a very tough matchup, struggled a little bit with Bradbury in the first matchup. But I love Antonio Gibson. I think Washington's going to get after Daniel Jones again. They're going to lean on the run against the Giants. So I love Antonio Gibson. I think Logan Thomas is a little bit more risky. The one good thing the Giants have done, as well as limit top wide receivers, is limit the tight end position. So I don't know that Logan Thomas is the best play. And look for Steven Sims. I want to start Steven Sims in his first game back, but if he's out on the field, see how he looks, because we were talking him up in the preseason. If he's back to 100% in short order, they need that number 2 wide receiver. But for this week, it's McLaurin and Gibson.
All right, I think Steve Sims is going to have a breakout game, but of course we need your sleepers. What are Jake's takes this week?
Yeah, Cam Newton at quarterback. A lot of people have been frustrated with him this year because the passing is not there, but the good news in this matchup, is very susceptible to running quarterbacks, and that's where he's got his value in fantasy this year. So if you're looking for a game where Cam Newton can get that touchdown, if you're struggling with the quarterback position right now, this is a Cam Newton type of game. And then at running back, Justin Jackson of the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, that backfield's kind of been a hot hand approach, but he's been the best weapon so far, and this is a very, very favorable matchup similar to last week where Jackson almost scored you 20 points. So Justin Jackson and Cam Newton this week.
All right, Jake Ciely, you can follow him on Twitter. Do that right now, and his All In Kid podcast, and subscribe to The Athletic. And, of course, you can see him every week here on The Huddle. Thanks, Jake.